Hi, my name is Susan. Thanks for joining me for your chair yoga practice. Today, we'll be working on cultivating a really great sense of energy. We'll do an energizing practice, just about 30 minutes long. Pull up your chair. Make sure that your chair is stable, so it's not going to slip around. A great tip is to use your yoga mat underneath your chair for a little extra stability. And bring yourself forward on your chair, please. So sit bones are on the chair, but you're all the way out. Backs of the thighs are off. Heels are underneath your knees. Sit up nice and tall. We'll begin with just a minute or so of settling in and arriving. So you might like to close the eyes or soften the gaze, allowing our attention, our awareness to turn in. And as your awareness turns in, what do you notice today? What is it to be in this body in this moment? Notice what you're sensing physically, emotionally, mentally, energetically. We'll be giving that energy a little boost today. And I always like to invite you to set an intention for your practice. And then I'll offer that you can use that intention as a way to keep you present during our practice, right? We all notice those times when the mind gets distracted. Maybe you go off on memory lane, or you start making your little grocery list or to-do list for the day. When you notice that that happens, use the intention to bring you right back to here and now. And your intention doesn't need to be big and wordy. It could just simply be a word, right? Maybe compassion or strength or focus or flexibility or presence. You choose what resonates with you today. Let's blink the eyes open now. Bring the hands out to the knees. We'll start warming up with a few rounds of cow and cat. So as you inhale, you'll tilt forward on the sit bones, getting a little arch in the low back, open the chest. You could even look up. And as you exhale, tuck the tailbone and round. So I'm really squeezing the belly back toward the spine. We'll inhale, lift the chest, arch the spine, exhale, round. Good, inhale. And exhale. Let's take 5 more just like that, and then we'll change it up a little bit. Good, 4 more. And 3. 2. And 1. All right, here we go. We're going to change it up now. Inhale, still to cow pose. As you exhale, we'll move into dancing cat. So as you exhale and round the spine, bring your right knee and squeeze it up towards your chest. Good, and then inhale, back to cow pose, arching the spine. Exhale, dancing cat with the left knee up. And inhale, set the foot down, arch the spine. Good, exhale, cat with the right. Inhale to arch, exhale left. Good, inhale and exhale. We're doing 8 in total on each side. So that means at the end of this one now, we've got 5 more on each side. And 3. One more each side. And up nice and tall, 2 feet on the floor, arms alongside the body. As you inhale, turn the palms out and away, reach the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, lower the arms back down. Do 5 of these. Just inhale, stretch the arms up. You could even turn your gaze to look up and then lower the arms. So as I'm extending the arms are really active. And even though the arms go up, the shoulders stay down. And lower, good, twice more, just like that. Inhale up, exhale down. Last one, just like that. Now we'll change it again, okay? Lower the arms down. We'll add a forward bend. Inhale, arms reach up. As you exhale, arms go out wide and the chest moves forward, hinging all the way down. And now we'll reverse it. Look forward, push into the feet. The arms stretch out wide and then lower the arms back down. 5 of those in total. Inhale up. Exhale, arms wide as you reach forward with the heart and forward bend, and then reverse that all the way up and lower the arms. Good, 3 more. Back up. And moving and grooving today, huh? Up. And reach forward and down. And then reverse it to come all the way up and lower the arms. 1 more just like that, and then we'll change it again as well. So forward bend all the way down. And then reverse it, come up. We'll add 1 extra move down at the bottom. So 5 more, but this time once we get down to the forward bend, we'll take a half lift. So reach forward and down all the way. Now inhale, half lift. So look forward, lengthen the spine. So you might come up about halfway. You could keep fingertips on the floor or bring them up to the shins or even up to the knees, all right? And then maintain as much length as you can in the spine here as you rebend. And then inhale, we reverse it. So you look forward and then come all the way up and lower the arms. So 4 more just like that. Inhale up. Good. Arms reach out wide as you hinge forward, coming into the forward bend. Now we take the half lift, find your flat back, and then rebend. And then inhale all the way up, reach up, and lower the arms down. And inhale, reach, exhale, forward bend, half lift, and refold. And then inhale all the way up and lower the arms. Let's do 2 more of those, please. Inhale. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward bend. And inhale all the way up, reach. And lower the arms. 1 more like that. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Half lift. And forward bend. And then inhale comes all the way up, reach up, and lower the arms down. Good. Pick up your right foot, flex the foot. Let's take seated pigeon pose. So cross right ankle over the left knee. We'll sit up tall. We'll hold this for about 5 or 8 breaths. So I'll show you some options while we're here. You could stay just like this, maybe add a little bit of a forward bend, resting the hands on top of the spine, or on top of the spine, resting the hands on top of that top leg. You could also just let your arms hang down by your sides and round the upper back so you're getting the chest and the thighs closer together. Or one other variation you might like to try, depending on how open your hips are, is come more upright, lean toward the back of the chair, pick up the left foot, and take hands to that front shin. So again, this is bringing chest and thighs a little closer together, giving you a deeper stretch in that outer hip. All right, let's stay for 1 more breath, whichever variation you've chosen. And then we'll exhale. Set everything all the way down. Take the other side. Pick up your left foot. Ankle crosses over the knee. Up tall. Decide which variation works for you. Just a forward bend. Release the arms down, or take the more upright variation, picking the right foot up off of the floor. One more breath, please. And inhale all the way up. Uncross the legs, 2 feet on the floor. Let's heel toe those feet out. So the feet are out nice and wide, toes angled out. Ensure that knees and toes are the same direction, right? So you don't want to have the toes really far out, but then your knees collapsing in, right? So knees and toes going out in the same direction. So we'll take a goddess pose variation. Notice I'm forward on the chair, so sit bones are still down. Legs are really active here, so pushing the feet down. Feel that energy draw right up into the legs as well as into the low belly. Take your palms, press them together in front of the heart. As you press the palms together, we're engaging all the muscles up here in the upper body, right? The shoulders, the chest. You can probably feel all of that engage and tighten. And we'll be doing goddess 3 rounds, so 3 times in total. Good, pretty active pose, using a lot of muscle groups here. And let's release, arms down. You can wriggle and shake. Might even bounce the feet around a little bit. All right, 2 more rounds. Are you ready? Palms pressed together, feet active, feet pressing down, palms pressing together. Now, if you feel really energetic or you want to get into those legs a little bit more, pop yourself off of the chair, right? Just get your seat a couple of inches above the chair, still pressing the palms together. Right? And then, maybe you hold for a breath or two and then sit back down. If you're able to hold it, hold it. Or stay seated. You do you, okay? One more breath, wherever you're at. And then rest back down on the chair if you've lifted yourself up once more. You can bounce the feet around, bring them out and in. We'll do one more round of those. All right, feet planted, legs engaged and strong, palms pressed together in front of the heart, firmly pressing, actively pressing. Decide if you stay seated or if you're going to pop yourself up for a breath or two. Great. 2 more breaths. And release all the way down. Shake those legs out, bring them out in front of you. We'll take warrior 2 next. We'll do warrior 2 or 3 times to each side, and each time we'll hold for about 5 breaths. Let's start by taking warrior 2 to your right. So scoot so that your right sit bone, right thigh are on the chair, right knee is pointing out to the right. We'll take the left leg and extend it back behind you. As you plant the sole of the foot down, see if you can adjust so that your heel turns a little bit farther back than the toes do. So the toes are angled slightly forward. Keep shoulders stacked over the hips and then extend the arms out parallel to the floor, reaching in opposite directions. So the chest is just as open as the upper back. And then to add a little strengthening to the lats, those big wing-like muscles in the upper back, press down, or imagine as you're pressing those arms down, like you're pressing them down into a table. You'll feel those big muscles engage. Let's stay for one more breath here. A lot of presence in the legs, and then lower the arms down. We'll turn and we'll go to the other side. So scoot to your right and then turn to your left. Right? Right leg extends back. Heel is turned back a little bit farther than the toes. Legs really strong. So remember, even though we're seated in the chair, the more you press your feet into the ground to create more presence, the more you'll engage the muscles in those legs. All right, float the arms up parallel, stretching fingertips in opposite directions, and then find that pressing down motion. Feeling those big lat muscles engage. And lower down, come back to the front. We'll go back to warrior 2 to the right. So scoot to your left and then turn to your right. Float the arms up parallel. One more breath. And lower down. Turn back around, back to the left again. So you scoot to the right and then turn to the left. Strong, strong legs create a lot of presence, extending the arms out and then pressing down, and stay here and breathe. Two more breaths. Lower the arms down. Let's do one more to each side, shall we? So back to the right again. Set yourself up. You might even, as we go through a posture like this more than once, notice how it might feel a little bit different each time we move through. Maybe you can tune in a little bit differently or more clearly. Pressing the feet down, active, active legs, arms extending, shoulders drawing down. 3 more breaths. The arms down. One last time, over to your left. 5 breaths in total. And lower the arms all the way down. Good. Turn yourself forward on your chair. Now you can stay right here. I'm going to pop off of my chair so that I can turn it so I'm sideways, so you can a little more easily see what we're doing. Something a little bit unexpected for our chair yoga class. We're going to build some strength in the backs of the arms and the shoulders, as well as the core. So I want you to keep your belly drawn in nice and tight here. Scoot really forward on your chair. Take your hands to the seat with the fingers pointing down, right? Palms facing behind you. And then scoot a little bit farther forward so the butt just comes off the chair, but we stay really, really close. All right, notice my knees are stacked right about over the heels. And then I'll bend the elbows to lower down and come back up. Good, we'll do 8 in total. All right. Good, 6. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring yourself back up on the chair, sit up tall. Now, what I didn't tell you, we're doing 8, but we'll do that 3 times in total. So feel free to stay with that variation that we just did. Or I'll show you another couple of options that you can either take now, or maybe as you repeat this sequence, maybe next time you try the other variations. All right? All right, here we go. So scooting forward on the chair, put your hands in place so they're on front of the chair, right? Scoot yourself off. Keep really close to the chair, right? So I don't want your butt all the way forward. We want to stay really close to the chair so we're relatively upright. Now, 8 in total. Here's another option for you. Maybe try taking one leg and extend it out in front of you. And then lower. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Change sides. Now you could still keep 2 feet on the floor and do 8 in total. All right. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Come back up onto that chair. Good. Shake things out a little bit. Roll the shoulders. How's that feeling, right? And you feel that strength building. Let's do one more round of that, okay? Are you ready? Here we go. Hands to the chair. Scoot yourself forward, right? So 2 feet on the floor, or extend one leg at a time out, or how about this variation? 2 feet out and then lower down. All right, so now we can't use our legs at all for any help that way. If that was too much, you come back to just feet on the floor, maybe extending one or keeping the 2 feet down. Good, we've got about 3 left. And then come back up onto that chair. Whew. Back to sitting on the chair, 2 feet on the floor, facing forward. We'll take a lateral bend now. Reach the 2 arms up overhead. Take your right hand, grab your left wrist, turn your left palm up. We'll take an inhale, lengthen both sides of the waist, and then lateral bend over to your right, or excuse me, to your left. So we're stretching the right side of the body. Couple breaths more. Inhale, up tall. Now right hand's gonna grab the left wrist, left palm up, lengthen both sides of the waist, and then up and over. Now stretching left side. And inhale up tall. And lower the arms down. Come on up to stand. And stand so that you are facing the seat of your chair. So we're going to face the seat of the chair. Take a forward bend, hands come down on top of the chair, on top of the seat of the chair. Keep your shoulders, at least initially, stacked right over those wrists, and then walk your legs back. So we start in a plank pose, like we're going to get ready to do a push-up, but we're not going to do any push-ups today. And then send your hips back, lower your heels toward the floor for a downward facing dog variation. Arms are extended and long. Even though the arms are extended overhead, remember, want to keep the neck nice and free so shoulders draw away from the ears, even here in our downward facing dog. Let's come back to our plank pose. Inhale, shift forward until shoulders are about over those wrists or those hands. I like to take my fingers and let them dangle off to the sides here, but you could certainly keep the palms flat as well. A low belly is lifting. Let's go back to downward facing dog. Stretching long. Plank pose one more time. Shift forward. Legs extend. Low belly is lifting. Everything in the body is firming here. Legs are engaged. Low belly is lifting. Shoulders are engaged, stable. And then back to downward facing dog. Take one more stretch. Look forward to those chair legs. Walk your feet forward. And then inhale, come all the way up with a little bit of a bend in the knees as you come upright. So you might remember earlier we did pigeon pose, sitting in the chair. I'll show you another option that you can use the chair, but we'll be facing the seat of the chair rather than sitting on it. Now, if this doesn't work for you, you are more than welcome to come back to sitting in the chair and just do right and then left, right? Right? But if you want to try this, bring your hands to the back of the chair, bring your right knee up, right? So we start with the knee up, and then I'll swing the lower right leg forward, right? So now my right foot comes in front of the left thigh, and then left thigh will walk back. Chest is moving closer to that thigh, so it's a little bit deeper stretch. And then I'll just rest the hands, the forearms on the back of the chair. Now remember, you could just come seated in the chair with right ankle over the knee if that works better for your body today. Let's stay for 3 more breaths, huh? One more breath. Exiting the posture. You might even take it back to a downward facing dog, unless you're seated, right? If you're seated, you just switch sides, right? We'll take left knee up on the chair now. Left knee comes up, lower left leg swings forward. So now the left foot is just in front of your right thigh. And then walk your right leg back until you feel the right amount of stretch here. Perhaps bringing those forearms up to the back of the chair. Of course, some of these variations might depend on the type or style of your chair, right? A few more deep breaths here. Hands come back to the chair and walk yourself back out. Good. If you did that variation, come on up to stand. If you were seated in the chair doing that variation, that's everybody come on up to stand, all right? Triangle pose or Trikonasana is where we'll go next. We'll do right side first. So your right foot you'll place in front of, right about in the middle of the chair, and then the left leg will extend back. So remember that foot position that we had in Warrior Two. So my left heel is turned back a little bit more than the toes. Now we keep 2 straight legs, but allow that right hip to dip down. So you can place the right hand down on the chair. Options for the left hand, you might keep it here on the hip, even take it around to the low back or extend the arm up overhead. So with the arms open wide, it's almost like Warrior Two arms, right? Stretching wide. You could turn your gaze to look up past those fingertips, or you could even look down toward the right hand. So standing posture, lots of energy going into the legs. We're pressing the feet down, low belly is lifting. These last 2 postures are for cultivating balance and focus. All right, let's stay for 2 more breaths. Look down toward your right foot, a little bend in the knee as you bring yourself all the way up. Good, step the legs together. We'll take that on the other side. So you step your left foot in front of the chair and your right leg goes back, turning the heel back a little bit more than the toes. Now this time left hip can drop down as you take the left hand to the seat of the chair. Right now, remember, you decide what happens with the top arm. Keep it at the hip, take it behind the back, or stretch it up overhead. Three more deep breaths. Look down toward the left foot, a little bend in the knee as you bring yourself upright. Let's step the legs together. Last posture, tree pose, Vrikshasana. Either standing next to the chair, you could even go behind the chair if you like to have 2 hands on the chair for balance, or use a wall, right? Whatever you have around you. And I'm standing off to the right of the chair, so left leg is going to be grounded. We'll press down firmly into the left leg, bend the right knee, and then open the right hip out to the side. So variation 1, just keep your right toes on the ground, press the right heel into the left ankle. right? Creating some presence in the legs. You could alternatively pick up the right foot and take the sole of the foot to the inside of the calf, right? Whichever one works for you. And then decide whether you stay here or maybe arms go up. I remember that variation we did with goddess pose earlier, right? If you're not using hands on the chair, you could also take the palms together in front of the heart. And stay for 3 more breaths. And slowly stepping out, shake the legs. Come on over to the other side of your chair. Now we get grounded through right leg. Open the left knee out to the side. Heel against the ankle, pressing together, or sole of the foot to the inside of the calf, pressing together. And then decide what variation moves on from here, whether you stay here with the hands down, you might just take one arm up, you might take both up, or bring the palms together in front of the heart. Two more breaths, please. And then slowly step out. Shake those legs out a little bit. Come back down onto your chair. So as you sit down, just like we started, heels underneath your knees, sitting up tall. Hands can rest on the thighs. Let's pause for a moment and tune in. And as you tune in, notice now what it is to be in this body in this moment, right? Tune into any physical sensations. Tune into emotions, thoughts. Or more importantly, because of the theme of our class today was to cultivate energy. Notice your level of energy right now. Really hope you enjoyed our practice today. Please join the hands in Anjali Mudra, palm against palm as you bow chin to your chest in a gesture of gratitude, always closing with a little gratitude to yourself for taking this time for you today. And as always, I thank you for joining me and sharing your practice today. Namaste. See you next time.